If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I'm the kind of guy who can trip over his own shadow and still try to style it out like I meant to do it. Unfortunately, some mistakes are too big to style out. Like accidentally selling my neighbor's car. It started on a sunny Saturday morning, the kind of day when the only thing on my to-do list was avoid human contact. I had just made myself a towering stack of pancakes when my phone buzzed. It was a text from my Aunt Brenda. Aunt Brenda, selling your car yet? I told my friend Janice you'd put it on the market. My car, a dented but reliable '09 Corolla, had been sitting in my driveway for weeks. I'd been meaning to sell it, but between work, Netflix binges, and the emotionally exhausting task of deciding whether or not to fold laundry immediately after washing it, I just hadn't gotten around to it. I texted her back. Fine. Send me her number. Janice turned out to be one of those people who talks like they're always 3 seconds away from hanging up on you. She wanted to see the car that day. I was already in pajama pants, but whatever. I told her to come over around noon. That's when the trouble started. See, my neighbor, Ted, owns the same exact car as me. Same model, same color, only his doesn't have the dent on the passenger side that my Corolla wears like a badge of honor. And because Ted is allergic to using his own driveway for reasons unknown to modern science, he often parks his car in front of my house. Guess what was sitting in front of my house that morning? Yeah. Janice showed up right on time, all business. She walked straight to Ted's Corolla, ran her hand along the hood like she was inspecting a prize racehorse, and nodded approvingly. This is in great shape, she said. Now, I did notice the lack of a dent. But my brain, in its infinite wisdom, thought, wow, maybe sunlight hides it better than I remembered. So instead of saying, wait, that's not mine, I said, yep. She's a beauty. Janice offered me $4,000 on the spot. I hadn't even listed the car yet, and I was already making a deal. My inner procrastinator was thrilled. I grabbed the title from my desk, filled it out, and handed over the keys. It wasn't until I saw her drive away, in the wrong car, that my stomach dropped like I'd just swallowed a bowling ball. I sprinted outside and looked at my driveway. My actual Corolla was sitting there, dent and all, mocking me. Oh, crap, I whispered to no one. At that exact moment, Ted stepped out of his house holding a travel mug. He glanced at the empty curb and frowned. Where's my car? He asked. I smiled in the way you do when you're hoping someone will think you're joking, even though you've just committed an act that's maybe 60% Grand Theft Auto. Funny story, I began. Ted didn't laugh. Funny story? Ted repeated, his eyes narrowing like he was trying to burn me alive with laser vision. I took a deep breath. Okay, so, you know how your car is exactly like mine? Same model, same color, same everything? Yes, Ted said slowly. Well, I continued, someone came to buy my car today, and I might have accidentally sold yours instead. There was a long, painful silence. A bird chirped somewhere in the distance, probably judging me. You what? Ted exploded. His travel mug nearly flew out of his hand. Look, it was an honest mistake, I said, holding up my palms in the universal sign for please don't strangle me. You parked your car in front of my house, she thought it was mine, I didn't notice, and… You didn't notice? Ted yelled. It's missing the dent. The one you've been proudly telling everyone is your car's dimple, for the last 5 years. I cringed. In my defense, the lighting was really flattering. Ted pulled out his phone. I'm calling the police. Wait. I said quickly. I can fix this. I know where she's going, well, kind of. My aunt knows her. I can get your car back before dinner. You have until dinner, Ted said, glaring at me like I'd just been handed the last lifeline in a game show. And if you don't, he tapped 9 to 1 into his phone. I bolted inside and called Aunt Brenda. Hey, Aunt B, I said, trying to keep my voice casual, like I wasn't in the middle of a Grand Theft Auto situation. Funny thing, remember Janice? Of course, Aunt Brenda said. She's thrilled about the car. Said it was the smoothest sale she's ever done. Right, I said. Small hitch, though, I accidentally sold her my neighbor's car. Any chance you can get her number so I can, switch them back? There was a pause. You what? Apparently, you what, was the theme of the day. 5 minutes later, I had Janice's number and called her. Hello, she answered. Hi Janice, it's me, the car guy from earlier. Oh hey. Love the car. Drives like a dream. Yeah, funny thing, I said, already sweating. Tiny mix-up. That wasn't actually my car. It belongs to my neighbor. Mine's similar. Very similar. Almost identical, really. Haha. Silence. Then, are you trying to scam me? Because I have a cousin in law enforcement. No. No scam. Total accident. Look, I'll throw in a year's worth of free oil changes if you just come back and swap cars with me. Janice sighed. I'm halfway to the next state, buddy. And honestly? I like this car better. My stomach sank. I ran back outside. Ted was leaning against my mailbox, arms crossed. Well? She's on her way to another state, I said weakly. Ted's face went red. You've got 3 hours before I make this official. 3 hours to find a woman with no reason to return, a car I didn't own, and a neighbor who looked like he'd enjoy watching me get arrested on live TV. 3 hours. That's all I had to prevent a headline reading, "Local idiot accidentally commits grand theft auto." I grabbed my keys, phone, and one emergency bag of beef jerky, don't judge, adrenaline makes you hungry, and hit the road. I had Janice's number, so I started calling her every 10 minutes. She didn't pick up. Finally, she texted, "Stop calling me or I'm blocking you." Okay, fine. New strategy. I called Aunt Brenda again. Do you still have that creepy friend who tracks her boyfriend's phone? I asked. Yes, she said slowly. Why? No time to explain. Tell her it's for justice. 30 minutes later, I had Janice's approximate location, a gas station just across the state line. I floored it. When I got there, I spotted Ted's car instantly. You couldn't miss the pristine silver paint, spotless windshield, and of course, the lack of dimple dent. Janice was inside buying snacks. I had a decision to make. 1. Confront her like a normal human being, or 2. Commit an Olympic-level stealth operation. I chose option 2. I slid into the driver's seat, started the car, and was halfway out of the parking lot when I heard, "Hey!" Janice burst out of the store, dropping a family-sized bag of pretzels. "This is theft," she screamed. "This is theft," I shouted back. "Returning stolen property." She ran toward me, and for a moment, I thought I was about to be tackled. But then a police cruiser rolled in, because of course it did. The officer stepped out, hand on his belt. "What's going on here?" Janice pointed at me. "He sold me this car and now he's stealing it back." I tried to explain, words tumbling out like they'd been shaken in a blender. Accidental sale, wrong car, neighbors furious, 3-hour deadline. The cop frowned. "So, you sold someone else's car without their permission?" "Yes, but..." "Sir, that's a crime." My stomach hit the floor. Ted was going to love this. But then Janice sighed and said, "You know what? Keep it. It's been making a weird noise anyway. I'll take the other one." The cop raised an eyebrow. "You're sure?" Janice shrugged. "Honestly, I just wanted the snacks." 5 minutes later, I was driving Ted's car back home, my pulse still thumping. Ted was waiting in his driveway like an executioner. I parked, got out, and tossed him the keys. "Well," he demanded. "Crisis averted," I said. "No jail time. No lawsuits. Just, maybe don't park in front of my house anymore." Ted snorted. "Next time you want to sell something, start with your own furniture." I smiled weakly, went inside, and locked my door. Then I opened my jerky. Because honestly? I'd earned it.